Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dogs Huddle, your gateway to an in-depth connection between sports medicine and the latest events in sports, fantasy, and betting. Today's show is brought to you by the Health and Wellness Depot. Unlock the power of well-being. I'm Dr. Mikey B. With me, as always, Dr. MJB, the legend. We appreciate everyone tuning in as we just came off of our top running backs in fantasy football for the 2025 season show. Today is going to be a faster show as we're dividing each position group up. Today is going to be tight ends. All right. So with that being said, the legend will take us away.
Okay. So listen, full disclaimer. I struggled with this. Okay. Man, the tight end group was not an easy one to assess and kind of rank, but let's go ahead and jump right into it because I'll go ahead and show you. You can pop my list up.
Yep. All right. So go for it, brother.
So me splitting the list like that, half and half, wasn't by accident. Okay. It was definitely intentional.
I can tell already, bro.
I think the first six would be solid picks if you ended up drafting them. I think the back six, it's like either guys you don't trust or you're hoping develop into some kind of stud. Okay. So
yeah. Oh, I already got issues, but go ahead.
All right. So I have Brock Bowers, number one, dude.
Yeah.
I think
easy.
Dude, this man had 112 receptions and 1,100 yards last year.
Yeah.
Who was throwing him the ball? Exactly.
Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. So you add in Geno, I think is a better passer. Every tight end that usually plays for Pete Carroll has a major impact on the team. So I don't see this trend falling off at all. I think, in fact, they're going to try to find ways to even get him the ball even more because he's not being competitive with the other options at wide receiver and tight end for the ball anyway. So I think that he gets more targets, dude.
He set the rookie single season receptions record and beat Malik Neighbors only by I think one catch. Right? Was it receptions or receiving yards? I don't remember, and I apologize for the viewers.
It might have been receptions.
I think it was receptions. It was one of the two. Either way, point is, this guy is fed the ball. He's the leading weapon on the Raiders roster. He was an absolute animal at the University of Georgia. He made his presence known in his rookie year. I agree with you completely. I don't think that anyone comes close to Brock Bowers in fantasy at the tight end position.
Yeah. So Malik had 109 receptions. Bowers had 112. So
okay, so beat by 3. So still like historic rookie season. And what does that tell everyone? He's gonna get fed the ball, guys. What do we need when we draft players in fantasy? We need them to be fed the ball.
Yep. I think George Kittle would be number 2 for me. I think that he's continued to be productive despite having weapons there. And the fact that you lose a Deebo Samuel, some of those targets are going to increase for George Kittle. And then you have the injury history with C-Mac that, we just don't know how impactful that's going to be. So, like, with those two factors alone, I just feel like, you've got to continue to feed your consistent guy. And I think that's George Kittle. I think Trey McBride for me is number 3. I think that he's going to have a very impactful year with the Cards. And I think that means for me that Kyle Murray actually takes a step forward.
Makes sense.
Sam Laporta, the only reason I have him at 4 is for the same reasons we mentioned in our previous show, dude, with offensive coordinator changes on the Lions. I actually think that Jamison takes a step forward this year, so he's going to pull some targets, not only from Sam Laporta, but from Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I have him at 4. I think 5. I think Travis Kelce, believe it or not, as crazy as this may sound, I think Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are going to have something to prove this year. I think that they're tired of hearing, oh, Travis Kelce may be done and he may not have it
makes sense.
anymore. I think that
Sure.
they're just going to light a fire underneath him. And now they go from being the hunted to wanting to hunt. And I think that plays a different factor in how they approach the season.
Oh, yeah.
So I have Travis Kelce at 5. TJ Hawkinson, he probably should have been on the other list, but and I only say that because I just don't know what JJ McCarthy. I don't know what I'm getting. I do think TJ Hawkinson is a stud, but because of what he did before and he did it with Sam Darnold, I was like, well, there's no reason not to think that he can do it with JJ McCarthy. So I have him at 6. That's one side of the board for me. The other side are either guys I'm just not sure of, whether it's them individually or the system they're in, the quarterback play, the whole 9, right? So I have David Njoku, Mark Andrews, Tucker Kraft. And again, different reasons for each guy, right? Like for Tucker Kraft, it's like, I think he's a good tight end, but sometimes I don't know with Jordan Love. So like that kind of scares me. Mark Andrews can be a good tight end, but like, is he really taking a step back? Or same reasons like Travis Kelce, right? He had a down year. Does he have a fire lit on it? I don't know. I just don't know. Evan Ingram, I have faith in him, dude. Like he has all the talent in the world to produce this year. I think it finally comes together. And if it doesn't, I'll tell you he'll never be on my list again. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I think Colston Loveland, I think his athletic background and how massive he is as a human being, I think that he will be a sensational pass-catching tight end for the Bears. And then, especially when you have a quarterback that's young, when you have a guy that's tall at tight end, you got to make sure that he's a primary target in the pass game. And then Dalton Kincaid, I think that he didn't really produce how I thought he would the first 2 seasons with the Bills, but I think that this will be a breakout season for him. You're well entrenched in the system. You know what you're doing now, and I think he takes a step forward. So that's my top 12. Oh, so was that the guy you had to push back for?
Yeah, absolutely. I like everything in your back end. I like everything that you'd said. I agree with. It's just the Dalton Kincaid thing. Like, yeah, I just don't. No, he just doesn't get like I've been on the Dalton Kincaid train for 2 years now, and it just goes nowhere. The Bills' offense does not use tight ends. They just don't. They had him and Dalton Schultz over there at the same time. Dalton Schultz. Who was the other one, tight end? Dalton Kincaid's rookie year. Maybe it wasn't Schultz.
I remember.
I apologize. I forget. But even when they had 2 stud receiving tight ends and they could run 12 personnel, neither of them got targets. Like they just didn't run it. Now you have him. He's the sole guy. Like it just. I hope he does perform well because he was such a stud in college, and he was supposed to be like a lesser version of Brock Bowers coming out, and he has been nothing of it. So I'm not like if I'm drafting Dalton Kincaid, I'm not drafting Dalton Kincaid.
That's fair.
Because in all honesty, right, like you can make arguments for a couple of other guys that can slide into that 12 spot. And so if I'm in a 10 or a 12 man league, like my number 1 tight end is not going to be him. Like I can find someone that I will have a little bit more trust, or at least I think that the ceiling might be a little bit higher if I take the risk on someone like a Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren. But I just can't do it. And like in response to your other guys, I'm just going to throw my list up there. Right, like I had Trey McBride over George Kittle simply because of the health issues with George Kittle. Last year was probably the last year I could remember that he played like the whole year. Every year he's in and out of the lineup due to injury. So if he stays healthy, he should be the number 2 tight end here. But just because I don't think you're going to get him for all 17 games, I put him in number 3. Trey McBride also, he's just so good and so talented. You know, when he's doing like a bigger threat and a better offensive producer than Marvin Harrison Jr. There's something to say about it. That puts him in the Brock Bowers conversation for me. So I'm going to put these top, and then Sam Laporta, same thing. Sam Laporta, I'm a huge fan of. And I think that the number 4 spot doesn't necessarily reflect Sam Laporta, but it reflects the fact that there's a little bit of unknown with that Lions offense and how well they're going to be operating in certain facets, like who's going to be the primary targets and this and that, where with Ben Johnson gone. Now, because of that, I have those as my top 4. If I had to cut my list off, it'd be 1 through 4. Those are the guys you want to draft. If you get one of the top 4, you're in good shape. Then we go into 5 and 6. 5 and 6 is like all right, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I'm going to feel pretty decent about it. I'm going with the Travis Kelce because I agree. I think he's going to have a better year this year. I really do. And TJ Hawkinson, he's a great tight end. He's a great receiving tight end. And I think that he's going to be someone like you talked about, Colson Loveland for Caleb Williams over there in Chicago, being a rookie. Well, not a rookie, second year now. Quarterback, being able to lean on a great receiving tight end. TJ Hawkinson, to me, is that for JJ McCarthy. So I think that there's value in that. And then 7 through 10, man, or 11. My goodness. I agree with you. I think that if I'm drafting 7 through 10, even though I have David Njoku at number 7, if I'm in this scenario, I might take the chance on Evan Ingram. And I'm going to say I have way more confidence in Bo Nix and that Broncos offense, and that he's going to be, because they don't have like Courtland Sutton, right? I talked about that in previous show. I think he's going to be a good fantasy wide receiver. And I think he's going to be a great receiver for the team. But they don't have like that star receiver, right, over there for Bo Nix to be like just targeting constantly. Evan Ingram can, slip right into that role. If he can just catch the football, I think he can be very, very productive for the Broncos. So that's someone that I might want to take a chance on. I think that he could be pretty productive for you. And I feel better about that. Njoku, I just gave him the edge over Ingram simply because of his previous fantasy production. He's a great tight end, and would be a stud fantasy tight end on a different team.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell knows what we're going to get from the Browns? I mean, so is he going to get a lot of targets? Are they even going to be in red zone scenarios? Like, I have no idea. So I think that that's a risk. Mark Andrews, honestly, man, I put him on there because of his previous success and the fact that he's still technically the number 1 on a high-powered Ravens offense. So in theory, he too could have another comeback year. I said it last year. I'm saying it again this year. I don't like drafting Mark Andrews. Everyone was shocked when fantasy owners did not have a single point for weeks. And I'm sitting back saying, I told you so. You're hearing it again from me now. Just like I mentioned with Dalton Kincaid, guys, if you don't have to draft Mark Andrews, don't do it. Try to get one of these other guys. And then number 10, the Tyler Warren and Colson Loveland. These guys are 2 unbelievable players.
Mm-hmm.
They're rookies that we don't know what their projection is going to be. So just like when Dalton Kincaid came out of college and we're like, oh, Dalton Kincaid, he's going to be great. And people were drafting him high in fantasy. Didn't do it. You're running that risk with Tyler Warren and Colson Loveland. Tyler Warren, I personally believe that he is the better of the 2 tight ends. However, due to his scenario on the Colts with what we discussed in our last show at the quarterback position, I just don't know what that fantasy production is going to look like. So if I'm going to lean on one versus the other, I'm going to lean on a Colson Loveland over Tyler Warren, simply because we know that Ben Johnson likes to incorporate the tight end in his offense like he did Sam Laporta. And I think that having Caleb Williams leaning on Colson Loveland is going to help Caleb Williams' production. He's going to stretch the field. He's going to help in the seam. And so this is going to be a guy that could be a great pickup for you, but I'm not taking him until later rounds.
So I love your order, very similar to mine. You're going to laugh when I say this. So, dude, the reason I had TJ Hawkinson lower, earlier this week, I watched, there's something on Netflix called The Sign Stiller.
Okay.
and it was about long story short about this guy named Connor Stallings, who was a former Marine, and he was a
Oh,
stud at.
this is from Michigan.
Yes, yeah.
Michigan. Yeah,
So
I know all about. Yeah. But sorry,
so
for our listeners, you can continue to explain.
yeah, so he he was helping like get the sign signals from other teams like on the sidelines, like totally not against like rules or anything like that. Like you're allowed to do that, but I think the part that you're not allowed to do is travel to games and get that film, right? Like you're not allowed to go into the stadium of a game, an away game especially, and you're recording what's going on field, because that's like considered cheating. So that's the same year that JJ McCarthy was, had his incredible season. So like, bro, I know it sounds crazy, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So
So you think that that's going? I think that helps the defense more than it helps the offense. To be honest with you, 1, 2. You think that? So you could make the same argument with Justin Jefferson then?
oh, there's a scandal going on with LSU that year.
No, I'm saying that JJ McCarthy still got to throw to Justin Jefferson.
Oh well, he did it with Sam Darnold. So I guess T.J. Hawkinson did too. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm just the jury's out. But you're right. Absolutely right. I didn't think about that.
The jury is out though. That's why I think that if you get one of those top 4 guys, you're sitting smooth. You can't do better at the tight end position. Then at the 5, 6 spot, it's like I feel okay. I don't love it. I know I could have done better, but I'm not going to drown here. And then, guys, after that, you're in trouble. Maybe take the flyer on Evan Ingram. Honestly, at that point, I that's what I'm probably going to do.
No,
That's
for
probably
sure.
what I'm going to do.
That pick I love, dude. And you forgot to mention a lot of tight ends do well with Sean Payton. So I think the fact that
Yes,
he's going to be involved in coaching the offense there is definitely going to be helpful.
and they went out and got him. Right, they paid him. He did not get re-signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars as a free agent,
Yep.
and Broncos like, we'll take it, and they went and he got paid. He got paid.
Yep.
So
Yep.
They definitely see a value in him, and I think that that's something to take note of. Now, I have one honorable mention. Jonnu Smith.
I thought about him too.
If you're hanging out and you're just trying to beef up your roster at the back ends, and you're like, who do I want to take? And you're like looking and like, he's sitting there, guys. Don't let him go onto the waiver wire. And then week 3, when we realize, oh, Rodgers actually is not completely done and he's throwing the ball to these guys, like their 2 main targets are DK Metcalf and Jonnu Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a very productive receiver. So I'm telling you guys, if he's there, definitely consider drafting him.
Yeah, I almost put him in my list just because for that same reason. I was like,
yeah,
ooh, that's a sneaky pick.
I'll tell you right now, if he was playing for a different team and we knew what that quarterback play was going to look like, he would be absolutely in the top 10. Absolutely.
1,000%.
He would be, honestly, he would be in the 5, 6, 7 category, right around there.
Yeah,
and honestly, it's only because of what we don't know what the quarterback's play is going to look like that it really impacts how well he might produce in fantasy.
I agree.
So with that being said, we want to thank everyone for tuning in to this episode of the Docs Huddle for Fantasy Football Top Tight Ends 2025. We are going to be wrapping up our fantasy series over the next week or so. We want to wish everyone good luck on their fantasy drafts if they're coming up soon, like mine is in just minutes. And we'll be sure to bring you more content in the upcoming weeks. For Dr. MJB, the legend, I'm Dr. Mikey B. This is the Docs Huddle.